Hey, welcome to Liberty Explored. I just want to throw this out there that we are all on this path together, and that I am personally very sorry for anybody I unfriended recently or that I've deleted comments of. Somebody showed me yesterday that it's really important for me to allow those things to exist in the context of this conversation because because the conversation is different for everybody and we're all on a different path. I'm on my path, you're on your path, and I need to remember to respect um, the challenges of being different and trying to share opinions and share feelings and facts and our own personal truths with each other while we're all on different paths. And I want to suggest that we all do something where we take a small moment of prayer or of internal reflection to write down what our goals are and ultimately to try and discover who we are. I think that is the shared goal that we all have. We are all on the path to discover who we are. And one of the best ways we can do that is by opening up the discussion, sharing the things that we've learned, and finding in ourselves, asking the question, who am I? I want to thank a friend of mine who talked with me yesterday. It was really important that he shared some of these things with me, and it really helped enliven me, wake me up to this, and help remember that you're all on a different path. And it's okay to have these discussions, and it's not okay to cancel anybody out for the wrong reasons, or at least in the context of this discussion. There are things that need to be canceled, like um, having teachers that are teaching bad faith beliefs, that are teaching children to praise mass murders or shootings, any type of assassination, something like that. That's a horrible thing, and those teachers need to be removed immediately. That's a different type of thing. That's accountability for our own actions. What I'm talking about is here in social media, about being respectful to each other and coming back to the meaning of ourselves and the meaning of words and of communication and discussion. I think everybody should go out and get yourself one of these because that might be the only way that you embrace really knowing what words mean when you don't quite know the meaning. I mean, of course, you can just go out and Google anything. That's what I did for years. Google's a great way of quickly looking up a word. You could do it on your phone in a second. Just say, "What is the definition of blah blah blah?" Uh, do that because right now there's a lot of words being thrown around that people clearly don't know the definitions of. Um, you can't go around calling everybody a fascist and then be surprised when somebody gets assassinated and then turn around and say, oh, but they deserved it because they were speaking things that made me uncomfortable. They were speaking to something that hurt my feelings. And, there's a saying when I was a kid, it was sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. Well, we need to bring that back. We also need to bring back the concept of I agree to disagree. And part of the way we do that is by understanding that there's all these barriers in communication. There's something I learned in human relations class in college. There's over 6 different barriers just in the concept of some person saying something and another person understanding it. That's inherent in all communication. It's inherent in language. And so what that means is we have a challenge presented to us, and the challenge is to find commonality. There's a war on words. There's a war on definitions, and this is a tool being used by the powerful to divide us. And if we can't come to agreement on what words mean, there's no way we can have a discussion on how to move forward collectively. So I embrace that, and I suggest for everyone to really ask themselves who they are and who they want to be, just like I do. I do that on a daily basis. And I'm not the same person I was yesterday. And I won't be the same person tomorrow because I keep doing this. I keep asking myself daily. I try to remove certain words from my speech so that I am more concise. Let me give you an example. Should. This is a very dangerous word. Should is the type of word that puts you into a fantasy realm. Should is a fantasy word. Everything that comes after should is a fantasy in the context of a sentence. And that's just one example. You can do your own research on it and kind of discover that for yourself. But I really think we need to come to the center together. We need to come to agreement about why it's important to first, before having a discussion that's deep or potentially harmful, we need to come to agreement on important key words. So we need to remove certain words that are pushing people towards dehumanization. We're all human. Everybody deserves to live. Everybody deserves to go through their life and find their own path, to find their own study. And I encourage everybody to learn for themselves as much as possible. Having a credential of something, it's no longer as important as it used to be. What's most important today is togetherness, our collective identity not being ruined, to have a path towards collective cooperation, community, and to find things again that we used to use for community building, things like music. I've always been a big fan of music, and I find it quite ironic that there's all these people trying to cancel me from my band right now. Fuck you, for doing that to me. I think it's pretty fucked up. You're going to go out there and try and ruin that with me, try and hurt me in that way. But at the same time, I thank you. I thank you for bringing that to the table because it shows your path. It shows that you have some confusion as to how to get what you want out of life. And if somehow I'm the obstacle in your life, you're confused. Just like I'm really thankful right now that for what happened with Charlie Kirk, because he's brought together a whole bunch of people and he's brought back this question of who we are with this identity politics, because he stood for faith and for God. And one of the things we'll find as we go along our path, and all people tend to find this along their life. They might not at this moment, but they will most likely find it. And that is that all paths lead to God. Everything that we do in this life is a set of lessons. And it's important for us to recognize that our paths are different and that we have a difference of opinion. We have a difference of beliefs of how we are what we are or who we are. But the way we come together is by finding commonality and by finding togetherness and by not mislabeling people and refusing to dehumanize people or allow people to be dehumanized around us. We need to make a stand in those times. We need to stand up for our friends, stand up for our relationships, and not unfriend each other. I realize that now. I was wrong. That was very wrong of me to do that. Sorry to anybody I did that to. That was a mistake. My friend helped me realize that yesterday. Really, I want to thank everybody for what they are right now and who they are and what they're bringing to the table. I think this is a greatest discussion of humanity And we have such a big challenge ahead of us. There is an algorithm that we need to see through the illusion of. The algorithm is constantly going to teach us things that are wrong. The only way we can find that is by following our heart and really finding our own personal truth. I think if you do that, you will find God. So thank you to everyone. And I welcome your criticisms. I welcome your discussion and debate. I hope we can come together more. I hope we can have fun and ride this wave of life together without dehumanizing each other. I hope we can appreciate people like Charlie Kirk for the value that he brought to us and appreciate words for what they are. Let me leave you with one more example, and that is MAGA. So I was first taken aback by because of the constant polarization of MAGA. And I think one of the things that, being somebody who took psychedelics a lot when I was younger, one of the things that does to you is it makes you constantly reassess what is true and what is real. And you're not as colored by the different types of authorities telling you how to think as other people might be. And if you really just analyze the words, going back to the dictionary of "Make America Great Again," it's interesting because it's not about Trump. It doesn't have anything to do with Trump. And it's definitely not fascist. And the sentiment is pretty righteous, actually. Greatness is that's a word that defines something that has achieved something that touches you. Actually, let's look it up. What does it mean to be great? So we're just going to look that word up right now. I'm going to use the dictionary because it's more fun. Let's see here. Almost there. Not gonorrheal. This is why dictionaries are way more fun. Here we go. Sorry, the lighting in here sucks right now. Great. Of much more than the ordinary sin, extant volume, especially. Why can't I read right now? Jesus. Designating a thing or a group of things larger than others of the same kind. Much higher in some quality or degree, much above the ordinary or average, especially. Existing in a high degree. Intense as a great light. Very much of. Oh, that's not really that one. Of most importance. Highest in its class. There's actually a lot of definitions of great as it goes down, but you get the picture. And I don't think anyone could deny that is a good thing. So to make America great again, if you can't be MAGA, how can you be American? America, this is where we live. This is our country. To be a nationalist, it's like it's been ruined. These concepts, these words have been colored and ruined. And so I just want to remind everybody that to be MAGA is not to be a Trump supporter. It's this concept of, I think it goes back a very long time ago. Pretty sure there's people using this like 100 years ago. Make America great again, and the America first type of thinking that's an ideology that comes from wanting the best for people. And how could you not want that? Just because you associate it with somebody that you don't like, man, that is just totally missing the meaning of words. So I encourage everybody to want to be great themselves. I encourage everybody to want to be great in their families and in their social circles. I encourage everybody to want to be great and for America to be great. At one time, I feel we definitely were, and that's why I think it's again. So it's a very good possibility. It's a high minded thinking to shoot for. And just because you haven't gotten there yet to understand that these words are all they are, they're just communication tools. They're not labels um, of something evil. Far from it. In fact, it's basically the opposite. And so I'm not on the right. I don't associate with MAGA as a right thing. I associate with as being centered to what is good, and what is good for us individually usually is also good for the whole. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to me for a second. I appreciate you. I love you. God bless. And I really hope the best for you all. I wish the best for everyone. I want everyone to be great and have a great life. Thanks again.